guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. This time it's a little different again. It is going to be me making my first press-on nail set. This is my first 10 nail press-on nail set that I've made with acrylic and everything, like a full-blown design. You don't really have to start with nail prep, but since I'm making a video, I did want to start with that. Nail prep is really easy for acrylic application. You really just go in with the bead on the press-on nail. It's a very easy process. So in step 2, all you're doing is basically just making a very thin layer from the cuticle to the tip with your acrylic. Of my choice of acrylic is this really pretty nude. I am going to go over it so you won't be able to see it. And I didn't get much footage of me completing all the nails. My phone died, but really all you can do from this video is learn from my mistakes. Okay, I'm a beginner, like the title says in the video. This is my first time, so what I would recommend is to really get a number, I'd say 6 brush, 4 to 6. I think I'm using a number 8 here because I was overconfident. But you can see I'm kind of struggling with the big beads. Even with the big beads, I'm not really covering much and I'm kind of making it uneven. So if you really want your application to look good, I'd say start with a smaller brush that picks up smaller beads. And definitely start around the tip with those smaller beads and work your way down to the cuticle so there's not too much product. And yeah, that's pretty much all the advice I have for the acrylic. I think I did really good on most of the nails, though. They did come out really good, but the one I filmed, of course, came out a little janky. But I do want you guys to see my beginning stage of becoming a press-on nail artist. And this is where I really fluffed up. This is the last nail. I hardened the entire jar of acrylic powder and had to do clear acrylic on the last nail because I ran out of that color. But here we are with the design, step 3. I'm just going in with a light gray with all the nails, curing it, and then curing a top coat, a matte top coat. Because I'm going to be doing some pigment powder for the aura effect. I'm really happy with how the design came out. I'm not gonna lie. I think I did really good for my first time doing nail art on a press-on nail. I have practiced acrylic application to hand and on other people. So it's not my first time trying my hand at nail art totally, but my first time making something like this. I'm really proud of it, but like I said, I did make a lot of mistakes. I did choose too light of a gray for using white aura. It kind of just blended in and I had to really pack on that pigment. If you're doing the aura effect, I'd say use very contrasting colors so you don't have this struggle to make it look like there's an aura there. How many aura points did I lose for doing that? Sorry, I had to say that. So here I am making the little vein design. It's just really simple. I'm following a reference photo. I followed a reference photo. I'll put it on the screen. I'd say my piece of advice for the vein design is to not overwork the nail polish. I don't put too much nail polish because then it'll be too thick and it won't give the same design effect as if you didn't use as much strokes. So try to limit the amount of brush strokes you do for those veins. If you can just do one simple stroke and kind of just connect them together with lighter strokes so they don't get so thick, that would be perfect. And I'm going in with a French now on the middle finger. That's the middle finger there. I'm trying to be careful not to cover up the aura, so you can see that whole design there. And I think this one is the best nail that I did. Besides the aura looking a little bit spotty, but the French kind of covers it up and makes it look okay. And plus the top coat isn't on yet, so just keep that in mind. When you're doing aura, the top coat does make a large difference, or the glossy top coat I should say. So I'm just being very careful here with this one. This nail took me the longest. You can see I'm doing very light brush strokes, and I feel like that helps a lot with making the design come out really pretty. Because if you do jagged or hard strokes or too many deep strokes into the nail, into the design, it can just make it way too thick and way too much polish. And here we are with the third nail. This one is another vein nail, I believe. Yeah. So we're just starting at the top and we're going to split at the bottom. This one came out too thick, as I was describing earlier. You can see I'm just working the edge of that way too much. Like, it looked good, but I still was like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. I was being very nitpicky about what I was doing, probably over manipulating just a tad. And even the taddest bit of an over manipulation doing nails can cause a lot of problems with the design. So the design process for me is the fun part. So it's easy for me to kind of get carried away and do too much. But now we're going in with the nail that has the rhinestones on it. I'm going in with my rhinestone glue and dotting where I'm going to put those rhinestones. And I'm using a larger and smaller rhinestone to give the nice effect where it looks kind of elegant and like raindrops a little bit on the nail. I can't wait for you guys to see the final product. So after this nail, it's really just repeating it on the other hand. So I'm going to go ahead and cure all the nails and do the other hand off camera. Here you can see I'm picking up those rhinestones. I don't know why, but I find this part really hard. If you guys have any advice about picking up rhinestones and not getting your wax all over the diamond, please comment down below. And any advice for design tips and tricks, I would really like them, because I love painting nail art, but it can be a little bit tricky with most of the designs that are coming out. So I just chose something that I really liked and was really satisfied with looking at. So I try to steer away from designs that are scary looking, like they look like they're hard. But in the world of nail art, it always looks harder than it actually is. So if you are a beginner like me, try not to be too in your head about how scary it looks, and just kind of dive in and try your hand at as many designs as possible. And here we are with the final look at the nails. They came out really pretty. I love the gray, I love the white, and I love the aura. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video off. I love you guys, and remember, stay awesome, because you're so awesome if you're watching this video. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed my first nail set, and I'll be back for more art videos for the month of Inktober. Thank you, bye.